なんとかなったみてえだな。畳みかける。これがスーパーサイヤ人3だ。
All right, what's going on, homies and homettes? This is part 2 of the meta snapshot before the end of the year. Be sure to check out part 1 linked in the description box down below. This is what we currently have on the roster. If you want to see reasonings as well as breakdowns for why we chose what we did, you're definitely going to want to check out part 1. But I am joined by the homie Goresh. You guys seem to like it when we, just share what our thoughts are for certain characters and how we grade them. So I figured we'd do another one. And yeah, I think we ended off your part with... did you choose a character or was it me?
I think I chose Future Gohan.
Okay, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, then let's start off with a good one. Let's see. Where would you put Fusion Android 13?
Okay, so yeah, this guy I think actually gets he gets hurt the most by Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Yeah.
I still think he's good though. Like, it's not like Super Saiyan 4 Goku comes out and it's like, oh dude, 13, his demise has started. Like, I think I'd still put him low S.
Yeah.
I think he's good enough for it, but we're talking about a character that goes from Z to low S. So that's a pretty big jump considering, all the characters he's jumping over, but he's still able to combo pretty effectively. Granted, you got to get through the disrupt, but there's, it's not like every single time you touch Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he's got the disrupt active. There's going to be times where you get through it and then you combo him again. And at that point, 13 can come in and do his thing. So he's got that. He's still got his own disrupt, which is very powerful still. And I think he's just a good addition to pretty much every team you throw him on. The only other caveat we could mention as well, which we talked about, I guess I talked about this in my top 10 video last time, since Gohan dropped, is it feels like a lot of the teams where you'd run him, you just would rather just run Gohan, right? Because Gohan is pretty much filling the same spot as a reviving blue character. Gohan has a lot more value when it comes to pressuring the opponent, because 13 is blue, but he's not really doing damage. It's just he's there to kind of tickle you and get out, and then the rest of the team is doing damage. But Gohan is like the only big, hard-hitting monster blue character, so that gives him a little bit more value in terms of just field presence than 13 does. But, I still think 13 is good. He's not as good as he was before the release of Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Yeah, for all the same reasons, really. He's got monstrous greens to compete with now, and of course Gohan stole his flow. But the biggest insult is Gohan also supports post-revival, and it's dude, you couldn't even give him that. You couldn't even give him that. A lot of the value that came from Android 13, it isn't just the matter of, okay, he helps you deal with Ultra Namek Goku, and he's also able to do sub-count manipulation. It was also the extension of combos, because he's providing so much key and additional cards, but you almost don't get to leverage that as much because you now have a character that will seal up your hand regardless. So just a lot of the traits that gave him so much praise have been hurt. Not just his typing, but just the ability to be that dominant support character. So a lot of the fast characters just hurt the poor guy. It isn't to say that he's not good anymore. Being in mid to lower S is still a fantastic character, but he's got a lot more pressure and opposition now, and he's not as free as just this is the designated leader slot character. He is simply a gem to any team. Now he's got competition for team placement as well as what he brings to the table. So me too. I got him at low S, unfortunately.
Okay. So it's my turn. Let's go with Super Gogeta. Fusing Super Gogeta. Where would you put him?
Fusing Super Gogeta goes to Z.
Yeah,
I mean, like, realistically, what is there to say? This guy, the armor break card is stupidly really valuable. That 2 timer count lock-in he's able to do with the green gives it that small window to really snipe characters out. And although there is now a super strong Saiyan that is competing for his type, Gogeta with the anti-endurance is valuable because, he just has so much damage inflicted with that 2 timer count lock-in. You almost can snipe out full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku before he gets disrupted. Same thing with the Vegeta, and I mean all of his teams as well. This guy is just he's just I don't know what is there to say. He's just one of the strongest characters with attributes that help him deal with every meta character that exists right now. He's got the type advantage over the Gohan. He's got overwhelming firepower to help you kill the 2 endurance Super Saiyan 4 characters in that small window of opportunity. He's got the Vanish Restore. He's able to get more Dragon Balls via the main. I mean, the Disrupt is still one of the best disrupts in the game as well. Just taking away a bunch of ki like that, he's still fantastic. He still sits in Z tier for me.
Yeah, I think one other thing to mention too is we'll talk about this when we get to Super Saiyan 4 Goku also, but purple is pretty weak right now. There are some decent ones, but for the most part, purple is probably the weakest color, so that helps.
Yeah, they spent like 50 years buffing up yellow, and then they did nothing for purple, and then they're like, oh, purple needs help. Give Evil Vegeta a unique equip. Yeah, and yeah, we know how that turned out, so... Yeah, I can already see them making us need a dominant purple. He'll go on for months and months and months. Maybe green just ends up being the best type in the game right now. People are talking about how in the exchange shop there is there's tickets to exchange for the green Daima Goku. So people are thinking,
yeah, I saw that.
People think this implies that it means we're going to be seeing a green Daima character, but I'm pretty sure this is because one of the 100 tickets missions is using a Daima character, so I think that's what it's for. But if it isn't, then you can already see how they're forging a need for a strong purple, and they'll just continue gassing up green. That's how it works, guys. This happens every year. One specific type becomes too strong, and then we need a suitable counter, and it's tucked away in the form of a major celebration headliner or an ultra. It happens every year.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went with Gogeta. Let's see now. Where would you put the blue Ultra Instinct Sign Goku?
I think this guy obviously gets hurt by Super Saiyan 4 Goku quite a bit.
Yeah.
He just can't punch through him. He's going in A. Yeah. Somewhere in A.
Yeah, I got him in the middle of A. I think one of the biggest things that really hurts him too is we were looking to him as the dominant blue because we didn't have one for such a long time. You know, Fusion Zamasu was just running rampant everywhere, but then Gohan came. So he kind of just stole his slot. Universe Rep is a non-existent team, I'm sorry to say. So when it comes to placements for the poor Goku, you know, he just got hurt everywhere. He's still capable. Auto dodging is still annoying. He's still a rat, but like everyone has AoE greens, so he's not as free. Vegeta has
AoE greens, and then there's Super Gogeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Yeah,
like it's like green is so powerful. Like he's in a really bad spot right now. But even in the spot that he's in, the fact that like he could still be pretty good still, I think shows how strong he was when he came out.
And it shows
typically when we're talking about anniversary characters in a post Legends Fest meta, they no longer exist. They're not relevant. But this year, I'm not going to call him irrelevant. Like he can still do stuff.
I would say this year they did a good job of having characters released prior suddenly get a spike in value. It's almost like it'll be like a release, a counter to that release, and then the counter to the counter. So that guy before him suddenly gets value. Like 13 to Ultra Namek Goku, and then everyone's hurting 13, so Ultra Namek Goku's all of a sudden ran everywhere. Or something as simple as Full Power Frieza. We kind of criticized the lack of teams for him, and then we got this, you know, half-corrupt Fusion Zamasu, and then all of a sudden, we got a disrupt that the Death Beam can buy you time to circumvent. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? You know, just things like this. You know, Super Saiyan 3 Goku as well. Just, you know, 2 GT allies, and he's just such a monstrous support. So characters have done a lot of roller coastering this year, where their value will spike and go down and spike and go down, which I would say is a good thing. I think, you know, giving continued value on these characters is good. So I got him at middle of A.
All right.
We kind of went with the heavy hitters.
I'm debating on whether or not I even want to like talk about this guy. I guess we can Ultra Cell.
I actually thought you were gonna say Metal Cooler for some reason. You're hesitating.
Oh, I already have. I've had Metal Cooler in Z tier, just so that people on the video have no idea what's going on.
Oh, you spoiled it, man. We were talking about that earlier. I'm gonna be honest. Oh my god, I already forgot how we were supposed to do this. You call the name and then I give my reasoning, right? That's how it was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably still keeping this guy in B tier. I think that's where I had him last time as well. It doesn't really feel like he has the damage inflicted numbers to be as intimidating. So he'll get disrupted by full power Super Saiyan 4. His disrupt being the seal is not as strong because a character like Gohan exists who will just pop his main and just move right past it. He's got far more competition in terms of who would rather be ran on the later slot. Even something as simple as like Super 17 might take his spot on red androids for now. His biggest value is probably the permanent anti-endurance, but then you'd be relying on either the ultimate or the rising rush for that, and we got a character that has anti-rising rush. So I mean,
yeah, that to me is the biggest issue. Is the rising rush was his biggest tool, and it's much more difficult to use now.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm just throwing him in B. I don't want to say C. I think just low B. Him and Evo can chat it up.
Yeah,
there.
I think I put him in B too.
Yeah,
that seems fair.
It sucks for Cell because Cell was literally a few weeks away from being part of this new design philosophy where we would have had higher multipliers, but he was almost there. He didn't quite make it. Yeah,
I think he aged very well though. Like pretty much through fast, he was perfectly good.
It was definitely graceful, but part of me wonders is it because he was that good or because androids just needed more? Like there was no competition for his slot on most of his teams. A red range.
Well, against the future team, he was good. Against that like double corrupted or against the double fusion Zamasu team, I felt like he was really good. Yeah, I ran him in that season, and he was destroying.
Yeah, the anti cover change ability that he had for his ult, yeah, it was definitely helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with we gotta go with some obvious ones. We're kind of just picking all the controversial ones. Where would you put a highly controversial super full power Saiyan 4 Goku?
Yeah, I mean this is the number one character right now. So
yeah,
top of Z for full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Green as a color is too good right now. I think we need some very strong purples to counterbalance things a little bit. Once we get into January, we can start talking about that. But green, very premium color right now. Obviously, also very good just in terms of countering the other really good, stupidly strong character in Gohan.
Yeah.
This is like the answer to Gohan. Even though Gohan has his main ability to remove the seal, that's only once. This Goku has a seal every single time he gets hit 3 times. And on top of that, this Goku heals a bajillion health every single time he fills his gauge up.
Yeah.
And it only takes 3 hits to fill it up. He's healing every time he uses a strike. His team is healing him on GT a lot of times. If you're running like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, if you're running the Spirit Bomb Goku, which I haven't seen as many people run, but I have seen a few floating around. GT has a lot of healing. A lot of his equips have HP restoration and HP on them. So it is very difficult to kill this guy. Obviously, the anti-rising rush ability is beyond ridiculous. If you're fighting a team with Super Saiyan 4 Goku on it and you don't have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you are most likely going... Like, you can't win damage. You can't, because they'll rush you and you can't rush them. That's how it works. Kind of feels similar to how Beast was last year, because the same thing happened with Beast. A lot of times you just couldn't rush the team with Beast on it, and if you also weren't running Beast, they would just rush you, and then you'd lose the damage. Feels similar. But at the very least, with the way that Beast and like Fusion Zamasu, the Ultra Fusion Zamasu worked, is you could get rid of their buff removal charge, and then you could rush. This character doesn't work that way because you can't remove this effect. This effect is just going to activate no matter what, unless you lock this guy in and then you rush him. And I guess we'll talk about the next character that I'm going to say next in Namek Goku. you want to just talk about Namek Goku now?
Yeah, go ahead.
We might as well just talk about him. All right, so Namek Goku is Z-tier character.
Yep.
Shocking. Namek Goku has one of the few characters that can very consistently, reliably rush against a team with Super Saiyan 4 Goku on it, because Namek Goku has a very broken ability called no switching. If you inflict no switching on Super Saiyan 4 Goku, guess what you can do? You can rush him, and even though he's going to live, because if you run him next to a GT character, he's got uncancelable endurance, you at least can rush the character. That is valuable, because no other character pretty much can do that. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta can do it. That's another thing we forgot to mention, is he can lock in this Goku with his AoE green and rush him, or use an ultimate against him. But no switching in particular right now is very powerful, really strong. I'm looking down the list here. The only characters that have that are Namek Goku, Ultra UI Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Gohan. But Gohan's is not as reliable, right? Gohan, if you blast armor through a blast card, then yeah, you can use it. But it's not like you don't just press a button and lock him in. So no switching is really powerful. Namek Goku, I mean, we don't need to go through everything Namek Goku does. KO guard, AoE green, fainting blue card, all the stuff he's doing, supporting. But Super Saiyan 4 Goku, damage is insane. The anti-cover change attack is, pretty good damage. Dude, people were like he should have been able to do it more than once. No, you don't.
Yeah, that's nuts.
You don't wish you could do that more than once.
What?
No, you don't. It's crazy. But the thing with this character is he is so good, but on both ends, offensively and defensively, that I can't not put him at the top of Z. It's like you have to put him here. You have to.
Yeah. Wait, did you say the top of Z?
Yeah, top of Z.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to really add to that. He just continues to see more and more value as more releases come out. I think that's something you mentioned before too. Just as the years goes on, somehow Namek Goku gets more and more valuable. Isn't it funny? Okay.
Yeah, well, it's funny because usually Namek Goku gets better when he gets allies that are used with him. But in this case, I feel like it's more so he's better because he works well against Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So he gets better in multiple ways every time something happens. Like, it's crazy. This character will forever be good.
Yeah, his kit is just too jam-packed. They just gave him such rare, powerful technical abilities that the only way that you would ever power creep him is if you just went way too far with damage guard numbers. Just multipliers. That's the only way. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be our version of Ultra Majin Vegeta, where a kid is just so jam-packed that you just have to go, all out to really counter that guy.
I mean, he is out-aging Majin Vegeta, because Majin Vegeta survived Festival, Meta, and then we got to Anniversary, and he didn't survive the Anniversary because he got ousted by Part 3 characters. Namek Goku, not only is he surviving the next major celebration meta, but he's like he's like one of the best units in the game still.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, he's already out-aging Majin Vegeta.
Well, thank the heavens he doesn't have a counter gauge. See that, Legends? Understand now you don't need to do it ever again. And maybe no more AoE greens either. We went with a lot of the heavy hitters here. I'm trying to look down the list. Okay, you know what? Where would you grade Super Baby 2?
Super Baby 2. This is probably... Damn. It's one of these like low S, high A rankings. I do like Super Vegeta better.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I put him high A. I think this is a high A character. If you wanted to squeeze him like very bottom of S, I could see it. But to me, this is a high A character. I think it's just they didn't give him a ton because he's not that old of a character. He came out in March last year. So he's what is that? 21 months ago he came out, which really isn't that old for a Zenkai. For a Zenkai, he's the newest LF Zenkai, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't give him a ton of stuff. They gave him higher stats. They gave him some extra damage multipliers. There's some disrupt abilities that I wish they would have given him. Like the one thing that comes to mind is I wish he killed a Dragon Ball on his gauge filling up, because someone just pops his gauge and just can rush immediately, which kind of sucks. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is in every match pretty much, so that kind of hurts him too. And the fact that purple is not very good hurts him, right? Because he's not really targeting a powerhouse character right now to use him so much. So I think he's good. I think he does what he needs to do, but there's no strict reason to be using him on any of his teams, even on GT. Like, you're not really going to be using him over some other characters.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to put him in S tier when that's the case.
Yeah, I have him in the middle of A for those reasons. I actually thought he would do a lot better because his drawing of cards and key aligns really well with this battle system. So people continuously switching allows him to just continuously spam out cards, stack up the crit rate, and just do more and more damage. But they just really held back with him. I mean, his two new passives are like 2 sentences together. You could tell that they didn't want to go overboard with this character, and I think a lot of it is because they didn't want him to compete with Janemba for the yellow powerful opponent slot. I think they went out their way to make sure that this guy was decent, but he's not bringing enough to the table where you would just flat out take him over Janemba. Like they really, I think the damage guard numbers were the biggest sign of that. Super Vegeta 180, and then Baby, I think he's at 160 or something. Like they just went out their way to make sure that he wasn't overtuned to compete with the other yellow powerful opponent characters. So he's a decent LF Zenkai. I've had moments where being able to burst out characters is really good. I still think the Obscure from the blue card is really good as well. He does have the lock-in ultimate, which can be valuable because the entire meta is essentially ran by Saiyan characters. And he does have an equipment that helps him deal additional damage to hybrids as well. So I guess, I mean, it's something to factor in, but he just doesn't have enough individually technical wise to really be as good as he should have. So he can work, but he was kind of let down by his multipliers, and he just so happens to be yellow, so he's competing with other characters that are part of Fest, so he just didn't get as much shine, I suppose. So middle of A for me. I think he can be capable, but he's never going to be a primary option, and yeah, it's just where I'm going to throw him.
All right, let's just go with Janemba next. We're reaching the end here. Not that many characters left to choose from.
Yeah. For me, I'm putting Janemba in the middle of S.
Yeah, me too.
I actually think Janemba may have gotten a significant amount of value because of this Ultra release. Number one, this character will draw a blue card when the opponent swaps, which is going to be a typical thing. Your opponent will want to proc the disrupt. So Janemba has access to a blue card, which will hurt pretty badly. Number two, his second level unique gauge has uncancelable type neutral. It's almost like the developers knew that full power Super Saiyan 4 is going to be ran perfectly beside Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So you'll be type neutral hitting him with that blue card, and it hurts quite a bit. So you can deal with both characters. Number three, and this is the big one, his ultimate getting him 4 Dragon Balls now makes sense if they designed him to help deal with the Ultra, because within the first 60 timer counts, you'll probably get your rush. You can just chuck it out there, disrupt or not, and then rely on the ultimate to get you halfway there to another Rising Rush. So I think parts of Janemba's kit got more value, and I'm starting to understand why they went this route when I see the full roster of festival characters. The only reason he still has like some technical issues though, one of them being if you are trying to combo with him, you'll still get hit by the disrupt, which can be troublesome when you run the two together, so you will need some stars to align there. I can't look past the no card on entry. That really bothers me. He's super reliant on Android 13 more so than other powerful opponent characters, and with the damage done to Android 13, he will naturally get hurt too. And number three, this is the big one, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta will just kick him and burst him down really quickly. Janemba's disrupt is the -2 card draw speed, but Vegeta, of course, just brutalizes the battle system and just spams out cards. So Janemba gets hurt pretty bad there.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think Janemba is like the most mid S tier character.
Yeah.
We could probably talk about. Like, he's good. His multipliers are good. What he's doing is good. There's just better characters in the game. Like, I don't know. It's not like there's an abundance of reds that are, causing Janemba to shake in his boots. Like, it's not like red is a dominating color right now. There are good reds, like Red Fusion Zamasu, Super 17, Super Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. But it's not like it's green, which is just like dominating the game. Yellow dominating the game. So, and then again, the same point that I made with Super Baby 2 is just there's no like big bad purple that you are fiending to use Super Janemba against.
Yeah.
Right? Because if there was like a top 3 unit, if there was like a top 3 purple unit in the game that was purple right now overall, I'd be like, okay, yeah, Janemba is like here to deal with this character. But that's not the case. Like, purple is not very strong. So there's less of a use case that you can argue for Janemba to be taking priority over a lot of these other good characters to be used right now. So that, I think, hurts him a little bit. But I actually really do like Janemba. I think Janemba, in terms of his kit design, might be my favorite design character of the year. Yeah. I actually like what they did with him a lot. He feels really fun to use. Every time you enter the battlefield with him, it feels like you just have a lot of things that you can do, a lot of choices you can make. So I like the way they designed him. But yeah, mid-S for Janemba, I think, is perfectly fine.
You know what I think it is? I think it's just the unique age feels like an objective you're trying to achieve. Kind of like how we describe preparation mode. It's like, okay, I got to time things to that second gauge. Just that extra little quest during the battle is a lot of fun for him. And you know what? He's a character that actually really rewards you when you set things up properly. Like uncancelable, type neutral, heavy hitting blue, vanish restoration. I mean, what's there not to love? It's just overall a really well-designed character. There's a couple little gripes here or there, but just overall in terms of the fun factor while being capable, I think he's the best balance of both. Capable, fun, and just overall a solid release.
Yeah.
What does that leave us?
Is there anyone else
We're
you
left.
want to talk? I mean, there's a few niche picks we can throw on here if we want to.
I don't.
If you want to do that,
I don't want to have an Ultra Super Vegito situation. That's what I'm nervous about. People are like, oh wow, they really don't like Ultra Super Vegito. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about Ultra Super Vegito. I mean,
there's the Gammas. We could do that. There's Kefla.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about Kefla and Metal Cooler if we wanted to, but I am probably gonna be. Honestly, okay, we'll talk about Kefla. I'm putting Kefla in B now.
Yeah, me too.
I'm putting her at the highest B, but Kefla to me was done extremely dirty by the devs. Not only was her team just bad now at that point, her typing does not help with Gogeta. I wish Gogeta was any other type just so Kefla could be ran alongside them as like a Fusion Warrior team, even though she's a more heavily strike-oriented character. I just feel like they did everything against her. Where they went with her teams, where they went with the releases, where she's competing with other characters in her class. It just overall feels really bad for her. It also doesn't help that she's somewhat of a glass cannon. And we got all these characters out here that just do stupid amounts of damage. Some characters with the locking in, people spawning out blues, the kick. Like, I guess Super Saiyan God Goku in hits. Gotta watch out for that blue. Because I don't think Kefla has sub-count manipulation on the blue card, if I remember correctly. I could be forgetting. I haven't used her in a while. But I just feel like Kefla is an unfortunate release. Like the opposite of Super Janemba, where they kind of just did her dirty, honestly.
The problem with Kefla always was the fact that their mishandling of Universe Reps hurt her a lot, because Universe Reps was, for whatever reason, designed to be 2 teams in one. One was a strike team, one was a blast team. And she's on the strike variant of the team with UI Goku, but the team always felt incomplete because the other half of the team that you wanted to run doesn't work well with the team at all. Like, it's like the blast characters on that team. So now we have a version of the team where it's like, okay, we have the same issue because UI Goku is a blast character, But then you have God Goku and Hit as a strike character, Kefla is a strike character, Evolution Blue Vegeta, who they just buffed and they want you to run, is a blast character. It's like, how do you build this team? It's not very intuitive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Kefla buffing Damage Guard of Universe Reps, I think, is kind of interesting. But in terms of Kefla herself, I think it's tougher to compete right now just because of the seal. It's because she's a combo unit. She wants to be comboing. She wants to be charging to build up her unique gauge, but you can't do that versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So yeah.
Yeah. Just unfortunate, I would say. Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about your favorite character, we could. I just want to do a quick scan to make sure we didn't miss anything.
I already put Metal Cooler in L. He's an L right now.
You know, at first I heard hell, but then I heard again you said L. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I mean, Metal Cooler suffers all C. That's it. We're just putting him in C. He suffers for all the reasons everyone else does that is not at the top of their class, and then he has no damage and he just dies. There you go, C. Even though he got the super rare once in a lifetime buff, he still stinks.
Yep.
I really just want to double check because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want anyone to say
the only two characters I say like we could do, I think, are the Gammas and Kid Goku. I don't think it's really worth talking about anything else.
Is Android 17 still in the S tier boost?
No, that was just last season. That was with
okay.
Blue Cow King Goku. Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I mean we could. I don't really know. I don't want to upset any Android mains. You know, Iron.
Yeah, all one of them.
Yeah, it's up to you. Do you want to talk about the Gammas and the Kid Goku, or?
Sure, we can knock it out. All right, the Gammas, they are just a solid B, right?
Yeah, they can't.
Like top of B, a solid B plus for the Gammas. Again, like we've said with pretty much every other yellow character that isn't Namek Goku and Ultra UI Goku, there's no purple character we're trying to target with running the Gammas, which, you know, doesn't really grant them a lot of extra value. I think 13 being hurt by Super Saiyan 4 Goku hurts them because they're essentially designed to work with 13. They have a lot of Dragon Ball destruction, which at this point doesn't really, I mean, it's because like you're spending all this time and effort trying to destroy Dragon Balls when you could just be running Super Saiyan 4 Goku and never have to worry about a rush ever, pretty much, right? I still think the Gamma, like, they could definitely do well individually. They do decent damage. They support. I think at this point, they definitely could get crushed defensively. I actually haven't used them in a little bit, so I don't know how they are defensively. I assume Gohan just comes in and just, like, rips them in half, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, solid B character, I think.
Yeah, well, I got all the same reasons. There's nothing more to add to that. I mean, we could talk about... We actually didn't talk about Kaioken Goku or Vegeta. Like, are these all spam out like ABs? I mean,
yeah, these are all ABs. I mean, that's why we're really like going super hard on this.
Yeah.
What Kaioken Goku like is also a B, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, there's just where are you gonna put him? Put him at he's B.
Kaioken Goku, like Gohan just comes in and like does the Beerus flick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's B. And then the only interesting one, I guess, is like Kid Goku. Kid Goku, I think you could put in A. Like low A.
I'm still putting him in B just because of, you know, everything that we've already discussed with every other yellow. Also with his teams just being bad. And he, you know, DB just feels like one of those tags that really relies on how powerful those equips are, because it's going to be a tag that they don't visit very often, and when you can't run a full team of DB properly, it just hurts them all the more. So I don't know, I got him in B for the same reasons as before.
Okay.
But yeah, you know what? I think that pretty much captures everything. This is all the major characters that you would see in PvP paired alongside some, you know, enthusiast niche picks that someone may use if they're having fun. They're not ordered, And I don't
enthusiast picks. I like
yeah,
that.
hey man, sometimes you run into people that absolutely love Kefla. I've seen people that love Vegeta clan, so they run Evo and the you know, Saiyan Saga Green Vegeta. Sometimes you run into Iron Cane and he's got the Gamma. So you know, there's this is to capture all of that. These aren't ordered, and a big thing we want to emphasize, you can't just look at it and you got the number. Like if this was a top 10 thing, it wouldn't be like, oh, so that means Goku's 1, Gohan 2, Vegeta 3. This doesn't all of a sudden mean like, oh, Janemba's top 8, Fusion Zamasu's top 9. It's more of like where they sit in their category. They're not listed numerically. It's more of like, these are the characters that sit in this kind of class. They're just that, almost like divisions in sports if you wanted to see it, I suppose. But don't read into it too much. I think your experiences in PvP will reflect where you might feel with some of these characters. I mean, at the end of the day, Z and S are 99% of all you'll see in PvP.
Yeah.
So you have any final thoughts?
No, I think the fact that we are sitting here and doing a tier list, at least for me, doing a tier list instead of a top 10 post major celebration is actually very rare. Like, we've not really ever been in a position where we can sit down and say there are a decent amount of viable teams and characters post major celebration. Usually it's, all right, part 3 ultra drops, you better have them or you uninstall. Like, that's usually what it is, right? So I think the game right now, meta-wise, is actually looking a lot better than it typically does post major celebration, because we have these game-breaking ultras come out. Part 1 characters are still going strong. Part 2 characters are broken. And that certainly is a thing. Like, yeah, Gogeta's really good. Gohan is really good. And then we have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, at least I do, top of Z. But that doesn't mean you can't run other teams and other characters that are also good. And I think that is a good sign. So I think we're in a decent spot right here.
Yeah, I agree. It does hurt that, you know, most of the Z and S is just Sun family, but yeah, it's certainly not as bad. It's still a little rough out there, but it's definitely not like friggin' Goku, Bardock, Ultra UI, and Icon. Like we've had worse. Not excusing this, but when I look at the grand scheme of all festivals where we wrapped it all up with the Ultra that typically breaks the meta and forges one singular team, the best team that you could see doesn't hard gap other good teams as hard as it's done in previous years. So
what about Anniversary this year?
What's that?
And like Anniversary this year, right? Like that's all you saw was just Frieza Saga.
Yeah, and then a little bit later we got triple ultras. Like there was undisputed #1 teams in earlier times, but at least here it's like you can run other teams, although it's a little small in terms of the diversity, and still do well, I would say. But yeah, Sun Family on top. Holy crap. Yeah, I guess we're gonna leave it there. Again, everyone's mileage may vary. This is just how we feel about these characters. If you disagree, let us know in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, your reasons, what your tier list would look like, and we'd love to discuss. But until next time, guys, if you have any feedback when we do these, let us know. But until then, peace.